Have you ever had a Facebook memory pop up and you're so embarrassed because the post was so cringeworthy? Yep, we've all been there, but multiply that cringeworthiness by 1,000,000 and that's what these luxury brands have experienced. Number 1. Benetton No Girls Allowed policy. With this scenario, it was a case of sorry, not sorry. United Colors of Benetton posted an image on Instagram featuring 3 young boys wearing their branded clothing with the caption, "Sorry ladies, girls not allowed." As a brand that usually does well with being all-inclusive, this caption was a huge step backwards and they faced some severe backlash. They did eventually issue an apology, but listen to what they said to decide if you think it was heartfelt or not. "We're very sorry that our message struck the wrong chord with some of you. We only meant to be playful in this post, and we apologize if we've unintentionally offended someone. There is more, but the 'if we offended anyone' makes this apology null and void before we even continue." Number 2. Dolce & Gabbana calls customers fat and stupid. No stranger to controversial comments is Stefano Gabbana, the co-founder of Dolce & Gabbana. One marketing campaign that stands out was April 2017, when he posted a picture of their fall 2017 sneakers. The sneaker was emblazoned with, "I'm thin and gorgeous," and the wording did not sit well with many. People complained the slogan was shaming people for not having the ideal body shape. And fair enough, except that Stefano Gabbana exacerbated the situation and instead of apologizing for the faux pas, went on to insult many of his loyal customers. We'd love to say that this is the last Dolce & Gabbana story, but sadly there's more, so stay right where you are. Number 3. Z Palette were called out for bullying. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do, any form of bullying is a low blow, and Z Palette were completely out of line when they bullied customers online. Z Palette are the creators of the original patented empty magnetic makeup palette with a clear window. When they launched an Instagram campaign to promote Z Potter, an electric appliance to melt makeup into palette pots, many felt $85 was too expensive. And yes, it is a luxury brand, but it doesn't mean you can bully people if they comment that the product is overpriced. Some of their comments included, "Thank God we don't need your money," and "You look like a cheap date, but we're not messing with you." And A-Luxers, here's the craziest part. They never, ever apologized. And A-Luxers, remember to subscribe to our channel for more ways as to how to not behave on social media and other great advice. Number 4. Jenner sisters try to profit off dead musicians. Tupac Shakur, The Doors, Metallica, Pink Floyd, and the Notorious B.I.G. are some of the old bands and dead musicians that Kendall and Kylie Jenner launched on clothing back in 2017. It was part of their line of vintage t-shirts. Along with the image of the dead muso was a superimposed photograph or logo associated with the sisters, and each tee sold for $125. Notorious B.I.G.'s mom commented, "This is disrespectful, disgusting, and exploitation at its worst." Sharon Osbourne also had a stab at the girls, stating, "Girls, you haven't earned the right to put your face with musical icons. Stick to what you know. Lip gloss." At least the girls apologized profusely, but it wasn't the first incident, and it likely won't be the last. Number 5. Saint Laurent and National Women's Day. It's the day before International Women's Day, and Saint Laurent published this image on their Instagram account. It's a young woman wearing high-heeled roller skates, fishnets, and a view that leaves little to the imagination. Some argue that this image focuses on the femaleness of the model, basically stating how women are generally perceived. However, French advertising watchdog disagrees and claims the campaign was not in line with the advertising codes regarding respect for dignity and decency. No apology was issued, and fingers were pointed at the young, then new creative director at Saint Laurent, Anthony Vaccarello, who was blamed for upping the sexual content of the brand's marketing campaigns. But this isn't the last time you'll hear from the brand. More to come. Number 6. Dior's saddlebag debacle. Maria Grazia Chiuri is the current creative director for Christian Dior, and as the New York Times reported, she'll be the first woman to lead the creative side in the label's 69-year history. She decided to bring back the iconic saddlebag, which was huge in the early 90s. Chiuri had roughly 100 influencers posting about the bag at the same time, including the likes of Miranda Kerr and fashion bloggers Susie Bubble, Brian Boy, and Chiara Ferragani. Anyone following the brand would have been inundated with #DiorSaddle. The problem with this campaign is very few people mentioned it was an advert or an endorsement, which is mandatory on Instagram, and now it's just unnecessary negative press that the brand is saddled with. Number 7. Audi #PaidMyDues. The #PaidMyDues campaign by Audi was a bit odd, and we get it. Audi was keen to try something different, but after posting a video of 3 entrepreneurs giving a small insight into their journey in life, the end message was completely lost on viewers. The goal was commendable. Audi wanted to focus more on the drivers of their vehicles than their actual cars. However, the videos didn't quite make their point clear. Many social media commenters said the ad campaign distracted from what Audi does best, and that is making great cars. The campaign only lasted 2 weeks, and they went back to their usual way of showcasing their brand, by showing off their beautiful vehicles on Instagram. Number 8. YSL wiped out their Instagram account. What some call a rather juvenile move, Saint Laurent deleted the history of their Instagram account. So, why the drastic decision? They wanted to remove all traces of their former creative director, Hedi Slimane, and did so quite unceremoniously. After the Insta cleanup, they started afresh with one image, that of Anthony Vaccarello, who we mentioned earlier. He took over as creative director from Slimane. Like many messy divorces, one of the causes was money. Slimane had to go legal and was compensated $11.5 million from Saint Laurent, who had underpaid him during his last year with the brand. Slimane was credited with getting sales of Saint Laurent over $1 billion in 2016. It was thanks to him the word Eve was dropped. A new headquarters opened 9,000 kilometers away from its Paris headquarters in LA, and he changed the stores and created new and interesting advertising campaigns and added a new typeface. It appears that moving forward, Slimane luxury group Kering couldn't agree on issues regarding a new contract, and Slimane returned to LA for a more relaxed lifestyle. Number 9. Chanel equals boring. If you're gonna start a social media account for your brand, luxury or not, it has to benefit the viewer, and you might argue that a luxury brand has very few buyers in comparison to more affordable brands, but it doesn't mean you can be lazy and not post interesting and intriguing content. Chanel doesn't have a specific marketing campaign that's failed, but you could say that all of their marketing campaigns have failed. Why? Because they're just so f***ing boring. And if that's the case, why even bother having a social media account? You've got your clientele, keep them happy and don't insult them by posting the same repetitive content online. And with Chanel, it goes deeper than just the boring social media content. Fashionista described their spring 2021 collection as follows. The collection itself lacks any of the charm, let alone the glamour of red carpet dressing, and frankly, there's not much very lively about it either. A while back, Washington Post said, Chanel is uninspired this season, and even the late Karl Lagerfeld once commented that nobody needs Chanel. But Aluxers will tell you what's definitely not boring, our line of merch, which you can get by going to alux.com/merch. Number 10. Balenciaga, not safe for kids. If you're following Balenciaga on Instagram, you might have inadvertently come across this creepy ad campaign launched for their spring 2019 ready-to-wear collection. They teamed up with Copenhagen-based artist Yilmaz Zen, and the ads feature the models' bodies twisting and contorting into positions that are not humanly possible. We're just gonna say it, it was nightmare fuel. Another of their campaigns was equally nightmarish, which was a creepy prophecy of a dystopian future. This was for its summer 2020 collection and featured robotic models portraying news anchors and reporters, and honestly, it's creepy AF. So, how did Twitter respond to this campaign? This will give me nightmares. What the f***? Wow, so wacky, so weird. Whoa. How random and funny. It makes me ready to go blow $3,000 on an outfit. So, our parting question to you, the dear Aluxer. Do you think this campaign was a failure or a success? We'd love to hear from you in the comments. And of course, you stuck with us until the end. Here's your bonus. We said you haven't heard the last from Dolce & Gabbana, and we weren't kidding. They've had several missteps and marketing fails over the years, and they're all down to major cultural missteps. Slave sandals as our first example, which were retailing for $2,395. They did change the name after the backlash to decorative flat sandal in Napa leather with pom-poms. Chinese pizza as our second example. This ad campaign launched in China and saw a woman sitting down in a beautiful Dolce & Gabbana dress, attempting to eat pizza, spaghetti, and cannelloni with chopsticks. The voiceover artist mansplains how to eat the dishes and pokes fun at the way Dolce & Gabbana is pronounced in China. Accused of racism, the adverts were pulled within 24 hours of posting, and we're basically just patiently waiting for the next big marketing fail. So Aluxers, that pretty much wraps it up for today. Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed our video, give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more great content every day.